All right, now that we understand arbitrage betting, let's talk about actually executing an arbitrage bet. For me, there's three main things that I want to stick to before I even place an arbitrage bet. The first one is having a high enough percentage arb. When I'm arbing, I really don't want to hit anything below 5%. Every time you're placing an arbitrage bet, you're putting your account at risk because you're hitting lines that are a little bit broken. Therefore, you want to have enough return to make it worth the damage that you're doing to your sportsbook. Another reason why you want to have the percent threshold high enough is because if you're working with super small percentages like 1 or 2 and the line shifts even a little bit when you're arbing, it instantly becomes out of the money and unprofitable. You want to be messing with things that are at least in that 5 to 10 range, and that way if the odds shift a little bit, you might drop down from an 8% arb down to a 5% arb. That way you're leaving wiggle room on the table and you're mitigating your risk. If you want to only view arbs over a certain percentage, you can go into your filters and set a minimum arbitrage percentage. But I think it's valuable to be looking at the table. Maybe it's good to just take out the ones under 1 or 2%. Stuff over that is important because it's valuable information. The second thing that I want to focus on before I hit an arb is how long it's staying on the table. Arbs will pop up all the time. That pop-up, that might be 15%, 20%, but they're gone within 2 or 3 refreshes on the table. That's because books update at different intervals and their algorithms refresh a little bit differently. So sometimes you're going to see stuff flash on the table that just isn't real. It's just the nature of arbing. What I would like to do is always keep an eye on the screen. See if it can go through at least 3 to 4 refreshes before I start targeting something. A really good way to look at this is looking at this indicator right here, this little dot underneath the profit. If you see 2 or 3 dots, that means it's been hanging out for at least 10 seconds, and that means it's probably a green light to go. Arbitrages do not last long when you're live arbing. It's really important to pick your opportunities wisely to mitigate your risk. And you do not want to be sitting there chasing everything and watching it disappear. Patience is a virtue, and that's what you have to exercise when you're arbing. The third thing that you're going to want to do is try to find the book that's obviously mispriced. We talk about it in the Discord about the side that's wrong, and you really want to try to find arbs that's clearly that one book is mispriced. When you do this, it takes a lot of the stress out. You don't have to open both at the same time and try to click the bets at the same time. If you find a bet that's clearly mispriced, there's good EV on it, you can hit that bet first, and then you'll have all day to close it on any other sportsbook. If you look at the screen, here's an example right here. This is a player prop arb for hits, okay? And I'm using a little bit of pattern recognition. There's 2 different bet cards here with the same arb. Caesars against ESPN and Caesars against Hard Rock. Both big arbs, 10 percenters, okay? In this situation, I immediately know that Caesars is wrong, and I can go to Caesars and place the bet there first. This saves time. Time is everything when you're arbing. There's 2 ways that I know this. One, the pattern recognition on the screen. It's showing up twice, Caesars against ESPN and Caesars against Hard Rock. If I have more books enabled, I bet you'd see it against 4 or 5 different books. When you see this, you can clearly tell that Caesars is mispriced against the market. The second way that you can tell that a book is mispriced against the market is by using this expandable odds view, right? Once you've used the pattern recognition, it's good to double check using the expandable odds. Here's an example. You can see Pinnacle versus ESPN on this plus 2.5 spread, and down here again, Pinnacle versus FanDuel. This is an indication that Pinnacle is off the market. Let's go check the expandable odds view. This bet is priced at minus 150 on Pinnacle. The rest of the market is minus 325, minus 310, minus 310, minus 280. So it's all around that minus 300 number. If I'm seeing this, minus 150, and the rest of the market is minus 300, I know for a fact that Pinnacle is giving me twice the value on this bet. So if I'm arbing, I'll open both bet slips, but I will prioritize hitting the Pinnacle side first because I know it's off the market. If we look at the hedge side, ESPN bet, you can see plus 215. The rest of the market, plus 230, plus 230, plus 200, plus 200, right? It's pretty much the exact same thing. So you're not getting any value from the ESPN side, but you are getting value from the Pinnacle side. This is the way you need to train your brain to think when you're looking at these arbs. That'll save you time and mitigate your risk. You'll take a ton of risk out because if you hit the wrong side first, you're basically just placing a bet that has no value. If you hit the right side first, you're getting value, you're getting EV, and you can hedge on multiple different books.